This is Lytton, a quiet, peaceful, and small town in Canada. Everything was fine here until the summer of 21. On 29th June 2021, Lytton broke the record of the highest temperature ever recorded in Canada. It was 49.6 degrees Celsius. The next day, 30th June, a wildfire swept through the valley in which Lytton is located and destroyed much of the town. Hundreds of people have died in Canada and the western US due to severe heat waves and a heat dome. What is a heat wave? And what is a heat dome? Why did Canada and the western US have to face extremely high temperatures? Is this linked with climate change? Watch this episode of Explained till the end to know all about it. Summers are hot, and sometimes they become dangerously hot. When that happens, it is called a heat wave. Technically speaking, a heat wave is an extended period of unusually hot temperature and often high humidity that typically lasts 2 or more days. To be considered a heat wave, the temperatures have to be hotter than the historical averages for a given area. But what caused a heat wave in the US and Canada? The cause is a heat dome. A heat dome occurs when the atmosphere traps hot ocean air like a lid or a cap. But what triggers the formation of a heat dome? To understand it, don't skip even a single second of this video and watch it till the very end. Let us start from the start. Heat from the sun reaches the earth and it warms oceans, land and air. When the ocean warms, it releases its heat into the atmosphere and it heats the air up above it. Now, this hot air above the oceans rises upwards. That is because the molecules of hot air have more energy and they move apart, so the hot air expands. This makes the hot air less dense and hence of lower pressure than the surrounding matter. This makes it float upwards. Now, let's fly to the Pacific and understand the situation there. During a normal summer in the Pacific, the water of the eastern Pacific heats up. This heated or warm water shifts towards the west with the help of the trade winds. Trade winds are winds that blow west along the equator. Now, to replace that warm water in the east, cold water rises from the depths. This shift makes the western Pacific warmer than the eastern Pacific. Sometimes the trade winds are stronger than usual and then they take more warm water towards the west. When this happens, more cool water takes its place and this change is known as La Nina. When all of this is happening, there is a stream of wind blowing towards the east in the upper atmosphere. This is known as the jet stream. With La Nina conditions prevailing, the jet stream changes its direction and shifts northwards. In the past few decades, the western Pacific Ocean has warmed up more than the eastern Pacific. This has created a stronger pressure difference between the west and the east, which causes more air to warm in the western Pacific. Now, the hot air in the west rises up, and when the air rises, there are prevailing winds already waiting for it. These winds take the warm air from the west to the east, making the western US and Canada warm. Now, under normal circumstances, this warm air should disperse and rise up, but that doesn't happen. Remember we talked about the shifting of the jet stream towards the north due to La Nina? This northward shift makes the jet stream turn into a lid. It blocks the warm air from going up. The jet stream is cool and is of high pressure. It reflects back the hot air, causing it to sink. This hot air warms further, causing devastating conditions. The effects include devastating heats for humans, animals, and trees. But the good news is, the heat dome lasts only for days or a week at most. But how is it linked with climate change? Climate change has caused the rise in the Western Pacific's temperature, and this has formed La Nina conditions quite frequently, disturbing the summers of Western America and affecting so many lives. That's all in this episode. If you have any suggestions or requests on what topics you'd want us to cover next, do write to us in the comments and don't forget to share the video.